Hey, what's going on, everyone? Today is Monday and it's very hot outside, and what better to do than sit here and watch another episode of It's Monday. I got my green tea here and we're about to get everything started, so just sit back, relax, enjoy whatever you like to drink, and watch my stupid show because you have nothing better to do but to sit there in air conditioning and lurk on YouTube all day. Alright, here we go. Alright, what's going on, guys? I got another package here today. This one is from Ian, the Ninth Wonder. I've done a lot of business with Ian before, and he's really good to trade with, really good to just do business with, trade, sell, whatever. But I'm going to cut these guys open now. We're going to see what we got. Alright. I can't tell what that is already. I'm sorry. Alright, what is this? Knife. Looks like we got everything out. And here we have the Hasbro Marvel Legends Dum Dum Dugan Shield Agent version, whatever. I believe that, yeah, his knife is right here. It goes in his little pouch. It's pretty cool. He came with his gun. This is how he came. No accessories or not accessories. No extra head or anything. Not sure exactly where this strap goes, but I think it goes right there. So really cool. I don't have any shield agents, so this is my first one, which is really cool. It's a pretty good build. I like this body mold. I wish they would use this on more figures. So it's really cool. So here's my first shield agent, soldier, whatever. And here we got some Hydra. It looks like this one was a custom with like a little smirk kind of thing. I didn't realize that this was a custom, but no big deal. I could always do something with this, and he doesn't have his little like skirt thingy, so it's always cool to have a variation of the same character so they don't look exactly alike. But there's that guy. And then he told me this already, but this guy's hand was broken off. It didn't happen in the shipping or anything, so it's no big deal. He looks really cool. Next to him, it looks, you know, totally different, like two different Hydra soldiers. Adds to the Hydra army, so I want to keep them coming, all my army builders and everything. But all right, thanks again. All right, so sorry about the conditions right here, guys, but I want to show you the haul that I got this week at TJ Maxx. Right here, I got the Red Arrow DCUC thing, but honestly I could care less for DCUC. I just wanted the base, really, and the accessories that come with his things. But yeah, that's about it. I'm probably gonna scrap the body or something, but yeah, I picked him up. He was only like 15. I got this Juggernaut from the Fantastic Four Classics. I'm actually working on or not Fantastic Four, Spider-Man Classics. I'm actually working on a custom right now. If you can't tell what it is, then you'll just see it later. But I had like the impulse to throw this all together. But there's that. I got that for like $7. It was pretty cheap. And then I actually came across Sentinels in two different TJ Maxx's, which was awesome. And I don't know if you guys know, but TJ Maxx is also owned by Marshalls, I believe. You can see like the sticker right there. It's $29.99, and it is the variant Sentinel. I have two of them, and they're both the same, both the variant Sentinels, and they work and all that. So I didn't see any of these ones, the silver and purple, just the retro ones, which is awesome because they're the ones that I wanted. And at $30 a piece, you can't really beat that. So check your local TJ Maxx and Marshalls, and maybe you guys will find some cool stuff. They did have other characters other than him. They had Aqualad and Artemis, and I think that maybe Robin. I can't remember, but yeah, that's pretty much all they had, and they had a bunch of the Spider-Man classics, different kinds. So go check it out. Alright, so I decided to crack this bad boy open. Really, really cool. Definitely glad I got these. Definitely worth the money. It's a nice, solid, heavy figure with great articulation, and I mean, it says a bunch of phrases. I'm not sure how many, but his eyes light up, and it's just really badass. The Wolverine's lacking, but I mean, most people buy this just for the Sentinels, but I mean, he has some paint apps and stuff. It's pretty cool. I mean, I got him in kind of like a standard pose, but I think it looks kind of good. It's like if the Sentinels getting ready to attack another X-Men character or something, and Wolverine's sneaking up, gonna take his head off like he usually does. But I mean, this is just so cool to see like this. I remember when I was little, the Sentinel figure that barely did anything and like opened up and stuff, that one was like really lame, but I mean, back then that was cool. And if this was around then, that would have been, this would have been one of the hottest toys of the year. So I just think it's great, in the detail and the paint, it's just perfect. He has huge ball jointed feet, which is kind of cool. Like the ball joint goes up inside the leg, so you can get it kind of like an ankle pivot type thing, and you can rock them forward and backwards, and so that's pretty cool. And he has double jointed knees and ball jointed legs, waist swivel, ball jointed arms, bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, which you don't really see on bigger figures, but I think it was only right to do it to this one. I'm not 100% sure if there's a swivel here. It could be. And then right at the wrist, it goes in and out, and actually, you know, I think it might be on the ball joint. It goes, so, yeah, so it goes like just where the ball joint can bend. And he has a ball jointed head, which is kind of cool because most electronic figures don't have ball jointed heads. It's just really cool to see that. If I can do anything, like any kind of gripe about this, I wish its eyes lit up all the time instead of just when you press the button. And I wish he had the coils or something. And I do believe that the palms used to have some type of like thing that looked like a repulsor blaster in it, which that would have been cool to have there too. If I'm right about that, I'm not 100% sure. I mean, he's got details like scratches in him, so I'm sure most of you guys already have this figure. I just waited because I wasn't going to spend the $50. I mean, $50 or 2 for $60. I think 2 for $60 is better, and I got to get the color that I wanted. Another thing, I think I heard a lot of other people talk about this, is I don't like where the button is placed. It would have been cooler somewhere else, but I understand for the way they have to package it. And oh yeah, actually, you know what, about that repulsor thing, it's right there. That's what I was just talking about. That would have been cool to see on him, and maybe even lighting up. And then I was like the arc looking thing here, that would have been cool to have light up too. But that's what customs are for. And if I get a third one, I was gonna see if I can just maybe customize it a little bit and make his arms come off and stuff, and maybe even his head, and put in a bunch of fake wires and stuff, and really beat him up, make him look like he's been through a couple of battles already, and have these ones look like they're the new assigned, you know, warriors to the, or sentinels to the mission or whatever. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like where they're flying through the sky and they all just like land and stuff after other ones get destroyed. That's what I mean. But really cool figure. Definitely happy about this. I'm gonna pick up a couple more if I can. Okay, so for another part of the haul video, I got this arachnid, or I mean, I grew up calling her Black Arachnid because that's what she is in Beast Wars, but it's pretty much the same character, same attitude and everything, but in the Transformers Prime cartoon, they just call her Arachnid. And she's in her helicopter form. Not 100% sure how many modes she has. I think it's only 2. But it'd be cool to see her in the mode where her legs fold up. She might do that. I'm not 100% sure. Cool character though. She's a very strong female character in the cartoon. She's like Arcee but evil, just like her. There was only one of her that I found in any store that I went to. That's why I'm glad I picked it up right away. But I'm having a lot of trouble finding the Vehicons. I haven't found them anywhere. So if any of you guys who just go to, like, you know, Walmart, Toys R Us, and Target just to go look for other figures, and you guys aren't really into Transformers, and if you come across any of the Vehicons, please let me know. If you can pick them up for me, I'll be happy to ship you out the money and PayPal, whatever you want to do, because I really would like to have some Vehicons just to go with all my baddies so far. Yeah, I guess just let me know if you guys come across it, and thanks if you do. Alright, so if you guys watch my show frequently, you'll notice that I always find little props every now and then, like here and there. And I was actually in this thrift store called Impact Thrift Store, and there wasn't really much there. They had some toys, but it wasn't anything I can use for anything. So I looked around, and up by the desk they had the more expensive things that they get donated to them and they know have some value. It's kind of like a Goodwill, but it's a brand new store. I don't know if there's multiple locations, but there is one near me in what area would that be? I want to say it's like Bustleton area in PA, right outside of Philly. Those who don't know, it's like Bustleton Street Road, kind of that area. It's actually right on that corner. But anywho, this clock, this grandfather clock, I saw in the cabinet near the front desk, and I thought, you know, this is really, really cool. It's really detailed, and it has some nice, I want to say it's brass. I don't know if it's 100% real, but the details are insane. Like the little graphics on the side here, if you can, if the camera can pick that up, I'm not sure. It even has all the Roman numeral numbers there, and it has clock hands. These things are so tiny. If you could tell by my thumb here, they're so tiny, and I don't think they move, and I don't want to move them because I'm afraid they'll break. But also it has this up here, the little parts that move. If anyone has a grandfather clock, they'll know what I'm talking about. It also has little drawers down here, which are really nice, and it has the chimes, and this thing is like the swinging thing that causes the chimes to chime, I believe. One thing I don't like is that this should have been glass right here, and the door should have opened more on this side, but it's not a bad, like, it's not a big deal or anything, because all the details, like all the way down, you can see it's carved in there, and then, you know, not, you know, I'm not going to nitpick it because it's like a dollhouse furniture piece, but this is made by someone or a company that's actually pretty good. I could tell. The drawers are coming out. That's the company, Best Pow, Fine Miniatures, made in China. it's made very well, crafted very well. Someone took a lot of time to carve this out and even make the details for the clock. So the main reason I got it is because, yes, it is in scale with Marvel Legends figures, but also it has more of a bigger meaning to me. My grandparents had a clock in their house that looked exactly like this grandfather clock, except for it was a darker color, which I planned on staining this a dark cherry wood, or dark, I don't really know the color yet, but it's gonna be dark. And anyway, they had a really old grandfather clock with a glass window here, but the top here looked exactly the same, almost exactly the same except for the glass window. I remember that being the signature piece in the house, and it was very nice, and my grandfather loved it. He couldn't figure out how to get it to work, even though he was a watchmaker at one point in his life, and he knew how to fix things. He worked at Sears for a long time too, so he was pretty much an all-around handyman. And it never just wouldn't work. When he passed away, it actually started working, and I know this sounds like a bogus story or whatever, and all, but it worked for a little bit, and it was the weirdest thing, and it wasn't like, you know, exactly on time or anything like that. I'm not trying to freak anyone out, but it seemed to move, and it was always, you know, it was always wound and everything, and it wasn't like battery operated or anything. It's just the way, I forget how they work, but it was all original and really old. And I remember when that all happened, it had like a significant meaning to me, because me and my grandpa were really close. There's, you know, pictures of me and him sitting down when I was little and playing toys. He played toys with me when I was little, so it was really cool. Anywho, I'm not gonna keep this story going for too long, but what I basically wanted to say is that I wanted that grandfather clock when he passed away, even though my grandma was still around, who I was also really close with. But when she passed away, it was like last year or so, it's the first thing I asked if I could have, just for, you know, it would have been in this room too. But my uncle, for some reason, snatched it up, and I was really upset because he didn't take care of my grandparents like I did or my dad did, and he didn't deserve it. But I'm not going to get all into that in the, you know, start a little drama story for you guys. But anyway, I'm going to show you size comparison now next to Dum Dum Dugan, and you can see it fits in pretty well. Usually grandfather clocks are about like right under 8 feet, so that they fit in a house. It's probably like about the size of like the top of your door, just so that they can get it in the room. That's usually how they go, and you're not supposed to tilt them on their sides because it messes it up, but you guys get the idea. It's a pretty good, you know, scale. You can use it for Marvel Universe too, but I like it for my Marvel Legends figures, and I plan to use it in like a X-Men, like X-Mansion display. So there you have it. I'm sorry if the camera's like all shaky. I'm doing this by hand. Alright, so here's a customs update, and Iron Patriot is finally done. I put the black wash on him. He's got it on his hands. I got the repulsors colored in. All the outlines are done. All the touch-ups are done. There might be, you know, a touch-up here and there that I need to hit, but for the most part, this guy's done. You got the outlines and everything. I honestly am very happy with the way he turned out, and I hope Alex is too. I do need to get the bottom of the feet again, I think, with some black. There's some right there, and I forgot to do this foot. I remembered that as soon as I started this video, so this will be all done before it gets shipped out to him. I still need to seal it up. I went to the store today to go look for some, I need to grab some more paint, and I need the sealant, and when I went there it said that they were closed, so they're closed on Mondays and Tuesdays, it said. But I'm really happy with the way it turned out. I like the wash. It looks pretty good for the most part. Some places it's thicker, but like on the arm right there, but that can all be like washed away a little bit with some water and a paper towel. It should come right off. So I can't wait to seal this up and send it out to him. And I mean, it's really hard for me to let go of it. I really like this custom. I want to do one for myself, just because of how much time and emotion went into this guy. I had a few problems here and there, but overall, it made me happy in the end to be able to actually finish this and have it look how I wanted it to look. So that's that. I really like the way the head came out too. I want to show you guys that. I got the eyes all colored into, and the outline and the grooves and stuff, they're all filled in with the black outline. And I love the color. The red is just so nice. This camera, like, it really does not do justice for it. It's like a candy paint, like candy red. It's the most red that you can think of, just red. On here it looks kind of light, but it's just it's actually a lot darker. And of course I had to throw in my signature thing for every custom that I do. The eyes do glow in the dark, or I should say are iridescent? No, not iridescent. I forgot the word. When it glows under the black light. But yeah, that's that. The inside of the helmet didn't need to be painted, but I sprayed it silver when I was using my spray paint. And also, other than the eyes, the repulsors on the hands and the feet all glow also. So I hope you like it, dude. Most of this recipe went from the MU version. I took the color scheme all from that, except for the arms. The arms had a stripe around it, and I thought that would just look out of place because of how the outline on the arm is. And I kind of like it this way better. And the ball joints up here are red instead of blue. I thought the blue would just make it look really out of place with the red shoulder pads. So I went ahead and just took my own approach to this, and I noticed that on the MU version he actually does have the orange light up eyes, and I couldn't find a picture for the repulsor, so whatever. I think it looks good like that. But yeah, that's him. He's done. In probably like 5 more minutes he'll be done. I just need to seal him up whenever I get the sealant. And then this guy has been a pain in my butt for the past freaking couple of months. The yellow on this, it shows up really good on the camera actually, but the yellow is just such a pain. Like when you paint like the shoulders and stuff, it just chips away very easily. I don't know if it has anything to do with the color or if it just has to do with the joints, but right now it's holding up pretty well. I had to do some modding to it, but I had to take off the cape just because the way that I had to paint the underside, it was just not working very well. So I took the cape off. I painted the cape too. I'm sure you guys already seen that in the last couple episodes. Its blue looks a lot lighter on camera than it actually is, but I went ahead and grabbed some magnets. I thought this was a lot cooler. Now he can decide later on if this is what he wants to do, but I grabbed magnets and attached them to the cape and his back, so it stays on, but it can, it can fall off if you move it too much, which I think it's better this way than it is to have a stationary cape, because you can move the cape around if you really want to or take it off. But just in case he wants, Alex, if you are watching this, sorry about that, I kind of lost my words. If you are watching this, what you can do is you can just glue this to here if you want the cape to just stay on. It's not, you know, a big deal. It looks like my magnet's coming out, so I gotta re-glue that magnet down. But yeah, I hope you like it, dude. I'm having a lot of fun doing these, except for the yellow, but you know, I can't complain. It's what I do. Other than that, I only got a couple minutes left here. My camera's about to die. I did some work on this custom here, and I don't know if you guys can tell by now, but I am working on the Avengers versus X-Men Colossus. I'm on Team X-Men, in case you guys wanted to know. Let me know in the comments what you guys, what team you guys are on. I've always been Team X-Men with anything, so I'm not going to change sides. And honestly, I'm not a fan of how Wolverine is acting at all in the comic book. I think he would definitely be on the X-Men side, but who really knows? Anywho, the grooves that are in here, I dremeled them into it so that Colossus can have his grooves and all, and then I'm gonna sculpt the gauntlet here and then the armband here, and it's all gonna go together one way or another. I gotta do some sanding on the head. I thought this head would be perfect. I just did some alterations to it. I shaved down his nose a little bit and cut the mohawk off and shaved down his chin just so that he looks a little bit more like Colossus. But that's the helmet. It's all sanded down. Can't wait to finish that. I'm really having fun with that piece, especially this body mold. It's just really cool. These ankles right here are really neat, the way they work. They're actually on swivel joints, and there's a hinge, and then there's a ball joint. So in the foot, when you put the feet in there, it has a ton of motion. It has, like, you can do an ankle pivot, you can do whatever you want. That is something I'd like to see repeated on other figures, even though this is kind of like a cartoony looking Juggernaut, at least when it was a Juggernaut figure. I'd like to see them do something like that with other bigger figures, or even small ones. Just a cool little thing that went into the engineering of this guy. I thought it was a good idea. But the only problem I have is I wish he had a toe joint here so that you could bend it. Then it would have been perfect. Because, you know, Juggernaut runs. So you need to have him in a running stance with his toe bent. I don't know why. I don't know. I don't know why they didn't think of that. But yeah, that's my customs update for this week, and you guys will get to see next week's pretty soon, and hopefully I'll have more projects going. Alright, so it's time for Crack It Open, and the figure for this episode is G.I. Joe Renegades Law and Order. One main reason I went with picking this guy is because I already thought that the video was pretty long by all the footage that I've shot for this week, so I wanted to go with a easier, smaller figure for this breakdown here. Other figures that got voted, they were good choices, and I definitely would want to do them. It's just that they were too much, and they would take up too much time, and right now I'm taking up too much time talking, so we'll get right into this. I've seen the cartoon a couple of times. So you see Law and Order is on this side, and this is the figure version of the two. What I love about this line is that they're not out of place. They're like, you can see the cartoony look over there. I'm gonna move this light because there's a huge glare on this guy. Can't seem to get it in a good spot. Anywho, you can see that over here these guys are very cartoony, and over here they're more realistic, like the average G.I. Joe. Average Joe. I like that. There's a couple of them that are very cartoony, but that's not a big deal. I probably won't pick them up just because I want them all to fit together. I like the fact that you can put these guys with any other Joe. They don't have to fall in line with a very cartoony look. So I'm very happy about that. You can see that he comes with a ton of accessories, but we'll get more into that after he's open. The hub symbol right there. Nice packaging. I always liked the way G.I. Joes were packaged. They're just simple blister cards with the plastic and tons of accessories. It's just great. And they always have this little bio that you could cut out and keep for yourself for, I guess, any quick information that you need on your character instead of keeping the whole package. You can see the other figures in the line. What I don't understand is that these don't seem to be in the same waves sometimes. I never see them together, which kind of stinks. I'm going to move this up a little bit so you can see Sci-Fi and everybody else. There's another picture over there, 30 years of G.I. Joe, which is cool. This is very reminiscent of my older figures like Ninja Turtles and Power Rangers. They always gave you the cutout ability. Or option, I should say. But without further ado, we are going to open him up. So like always, I'm not going to edit this part at all. I'm going to back it up so that we can get a better view of this guy. Now the first thought that I had when buying him is that he would go good with my zombies. As some of you may know, I am not a huge G.I. Joe fan. I like G.I. Joe, just not a huge fan. And mostly the figures I collect are the more realistic kind, so that they go in good scale with other things like Marvel Universe and stuff like that. Let's see, there's the stand. It's another good thing that I like about G.I. Joe, is that you can always display your figures on stands if you want. This guy out. A lot of accessories, which is always good. Always good to have weapons and little accessories. Oh, okay, I fell right in a good spot. I'm gonna dispose of this packaging now. Another good thing is that they're very simple to open. They're usually not tied in by any rubber bands or twist ties or anything, so that's always a good thing. And they look good in the card too, so they're always displayed very nice, and you can always keep them, you know, mint on card if you want to. Okay, so my first impressions, just looking at him right now, messing around a little bit, is he's a very nice figure. I like the classic G.I. Joe pin. Sorry about that, that was a little bit of an interruption. I didn't edit anything, so I'm going to continue on. A lot of nice detail. I'm going to take his gun out of his hand. He has trigger fingers, which is really cool because he is a police officer, so he will be using his hands to shoot some guns and stuff. Just noticed that his helmet comes off. I didn't think it did at first, but that's really cool that it does. I'm going to move the camera back up just a little bit so we can get a closer look at this guy. And I'm going to kneel down here. So he's got his MP logo on the side. He's got a radio, badge. The badge looks a little big for his scale, but that could just be exactly how it looks. He's got his flak jacket or bulletproof vest or whatever you want to call it. A lot of pockets, some buckles and details, and it looks like it does come off. If you wanted to, you can pull this on the side. Looks really neat. A lot of pockets. There's a gun holster right here. Not sure what that's for because it doesn't seem to have a gun that fits in it unless the nightstick goes through there. I'm gonna guess that's for the nightstick because there's nowhere else to put it. but it does look like a gun holster, which doesn't make much sense. And take this out again, just for sake of figure. It looks like he has a little gun. Oh yeah, he does. He has a little gun, very, very tiny. If you guys can see that. He has a little tiny gun that fits on the side here. That's kind of cool. This looks like a flashlight. Oh, that was a flashlight, and it did come out. Give me a second, I'll find it. It's either a flashlight or a silencer. I'm gonna say, oh wait, you know what? It's a silencer. That's really cool. Oh, sorry. I was not on the camera there, but this is what I did. I plugged it in. That is really, really cool that they did that. All these little accessories and stuff that actually comes off of the figure, which is really cool. You don't see this in a lot of other figures. I'm glad they continue to make G.I. Joes this way and make them even better than they were when I was little and my brothers were little. So that is a really cool thing. I'm very surprised about that. He has some knee pads, and it looks like they even come off. Yeah, you can take his knee pads off if you really wanted to. And it even has like stitched sculpting underneath the pad on the knee. So that's really cool too. Some pockets around there. He has police written back here in a peg hole in case you need it for something. And then he has this little handle thing. I'm not really sure what that's for. I think it's to hang up the vest. The face sculpt's very nice. It kind of looks like Bruce Wayne, Batman. The hair is really neatly sculpted, very nice. Expression is perfect, not too serious. That kind of sounded like the Joker, but I guess we'll go over the articulation here. So he does have the pin swivel shoulders, and he's even got his side cut out a little bit down there so that you can get even more range of motion, which is really a really nice touch. His elbow does swivel and bend 90 degrees at one point. He has wrist swivel and in and out. And I think that's a watch on his wrist. So that's pretty cool. Working our way down. He's got the waist. No ab crunch though. Waist. I forgot to do the head. Head's 360 standard. A little bit hindered. Goes up and down. Sorry about that. Standard G.I. Joe pin joint here that goes in and out, and it's pretty well motioned. Looks good. Double jointed knees, which is awesome. You can get them all the way down like that. He has a forward and back on his foot, but it mostly goes down then up, and it swivels. The pants are a little bit softer, so are the shoes, so that you can get it down like that if you really wanted him to have his foot that way. Overall, so far, I'm really digging the figure. I think he's really nice. He looks good. Looks like a nice police officer figure and very articulated. So I guess right now we are going to go and look at his accessories here. He's got Order here, or I guess that's his name. He is articulated on the neck here, and it looks like it goes up and down and side to side. So it's pretty cool. You can get him in a little bit more poses than normal. Everything else is stationary. The pockets, the leash is flexible, and you can put it in his hand, it looks like, if you want him to hold the leash. Why is this being a pain in the butt? Oh, well, it goes in there. I'm having a hard time because of the position that I'm in. But he has a lot of detail. He looks like a German Shepherd. If I did have one complain about this part of the figure, I wish he had darker shading in him. just because I know German Shepherds have like a black in them. They're not usually a solid tan brown, but he does have some paint apps and some shading. It's just not enough. The paws are even sculpted, which is really cool. Alright, so other accessories here. You already seen his helmet, and that fits on his head very well. And he also has the blast mask, I guess. I'm not sure exactly how this is supposed to go on, whether it's over the helmet. Yeah, it looks like it's over the helmet because it doesn't really fit on his head that well without the helmet. So, but that's pretty cool. I probably wouldn't put it on him without the helmet anyway. His gun's falling out of his pocket, so I'm going to move that over. You've seen the nightstick, and I just found this magnum here. Nicely detailed silver with a little bit of black in there. I think it's either a black plastic and they painted it silver, or they did a wash. Not 100% sure though. This could be what goes in this holster back here, but I'm not 100% sure. And then he has this this gun right here. I believe it's a shotgun. Not 100% sure. There's a little bit of ammo rounds on the side there. It has a handle up here, and it looks a lot like a shotgun to me. I'm not 100% sure though. And here's his assault rifle. Really cool, with the banana clip in there. Not sure if these are modeled after any real guns. I'm not really up to date with all of the firearms that are out now. He has a pin back here. A pinhole, I mean, and I'm not sure exactly what goes on it. It might be the cuffs. That's another thing that he came with. I forgot to mention that. Might be that or something. I don't really know. It doesn't look like it has a spot. It might go around him like that. Not 100% sure. Or it could be one of his guns. There might be a peg hole in one of these, or a peg. I don't see anything that might fit in there. But overall, this figure is really nice. I highly recommend him. He fits well in a stand. You can just stick him on there if you want. I'm not going to do that right now. But main reason I really wanted him is for a display that I might do with my zombies. So I'm going to get out the zombies right now. They're both wearing their masks, so I'm going to just take them off for a second. Just to get a better representation of what I am trying to do. So you can see that he's in scale with the G.I. Joe figures, the other lines. Like, this isn't a Renegades figure. I forget what line this one's from. But he's in pretty good scale with him. This guy's a little bit shorter, but that's okay because he's wearing boots and he's not wearing any shoes. And also he's like a zombie, so I'm gonna do a little display like thing here if I can get that guy to stand. So we're gonna take the Magnum because I think that's my favorite gun here. I know I'm kind of quiet right now. I'm just kind of thinking. I'm gonna put this guy behind him. Like if he's scared. This little doggy's scared. These guys have always been really hard to stand just because of the way their feet are. They're very small and they don't cover much ground. Try and line this up so everything looks kind of realistic. Alright, so that's kind of just a quick little reference for you guys so you can see how these guys go together. You see the zombies are coming in. Police officer is probably the first people that would be on the case if that were to happen. They would probably shoot the zombies quicker than anybody else would. But thanks for watching this, guys. I really appreciate all the support every week. I know I have some regulars that tune into the show. I'd like to get more people to watch if I could, so I would like to hear some suggestions of what I can do to make things worth, you know, spending your Monday night doing. I mean, I know I don't do anything Mondays but this, because it's, you know, Mondays suck and they're boring. So anyway, don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe, of course. Please add me on Facebook. Come talk to me. You know, I'm friendly, willing to make some friends and everything. I've made a lot of friends in the community so far, and it wouldn't hurt to make some more. So come join us on all the Facebook groups, the trading community, the ACBA community. For those who don't know what ACBA is, it's articulated comic book art, and it's where we take figures like this and display them, and there's a whole big community of people for those who do not know. So please check it out. I will link everything down in the bottom. Thank you for voting this week, and I will have a list of what will be available to vote for next week. So please vote, please interact, and I will see you guys later, and thank you so much.
That's crispy.